everyone! So, my name is Kezia and this is my corner. If you're new here, as I said, my name is Kezia and I hope you get to stay and join my lovely family. It would mean the world to me. And for those of you who are returning, oh my goodness, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Today's video is going to be part of my declutter series. And when I say declutter, because I mean I don't get rid of anything in this video, but I'm also showing you how I organize my sort of higher endish shadow palettes, like from Anastasia, Beverly Hills to Too Faced to Urban Decay, those sort of brands. I've already done my declutter organization of how I organize my drugstore palettes, my Makeup Revolution palettes, and also my I Heart Revolution palettes. And this is the final palette video, okay? So yeah, and then from here, we're going to move on to either mascaras or my eyeliner drawer, or actually I'll do those both together. And then we'll move on to like blushes, highlights, and bronzers. And then to finally ending with my lipsticks. Oh my god, I don't want to think of that because I have about 3 drawers, and then I have some like lipsticks running around in my sort of as my decor. So I don't know, I'm terrified of going to that step at a time. I mean, I started this last year and here I am halfway through, I think I would say. But yeah, I prefer it like this rather than like one entire video because it would have been too long. So yeah, and for me it's like fun because it like reminds me of like my makeup products. So yes. Anyways, I hope you enjoy watching me declutter, me showing you how I organize my eyeshadow palettes, which are higher endish. And if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So let's begin by showing you my pretty eyeshadow palette. So this is like sort of the higher end, not drugstore. I mean, I do have like Beauty Bay and some others, but mostly this is sort of like high end, sort of not luxury obviously, but like Anastasia, Beverly Hills, Too Faced. So we're going to go over them, but I think first I'm going to start with, because I have a shelf which, as you're seeing, I also store some other eyeshadow palettes, so I think that I'm going to start by showing you those palettes first, but we'll have this as the background. Okay, so let's begin. Alright, so we have this one. So this one is from Evolve and this one is from Beauty Bay, and this is what the palette looks like. I haven't used this palette in a while, to be honest, but I remember when I created looks with this, I was in love with the palette. It has like a mixture of like pinks, neutral shades, but also it has like some smoky colors over here. So yeah, I definitely need to dip into this palette as well. What I also liked is that sort of it has like the base, the transitions. It has like a bit of guidelines as well on how to apply these shades. And obviously over here we have some highlights, and over here we have like some popping colors as well. So over here we have the Artistry palette from Morphe. This is the largest Morphe palette that I own, and this is what it looks like. So this sort of has a lot of the purple shades and pink shades, very pink shades, and I've used this in a tutorial, I remember, and I absolutely love the quality of this palette and definitely recommend it for sure. So now I have the 2 palettes of Jaclyn Hill. So this was the first one, and as we know, we absolutely love this palette. It is one of the best drugstore, I think, palettes that there are out there from Morphe. And I still love reaching for this, especially when I want to do sort of a natural look as well. But then even when I like looking for like these blues and purple as well, these are a really good set. And even that black over there is stunning. And then this was her Volume 2 palette. So this one actually was released last year, I think in February of 2020, before everything started. And I absolutely love this. Again, it has like the neutral shades, but then it has like pops of purple. So let me show you some other Morphe palettes I have. This is the 35M Boss Mood palette. I've done a couple of shades, a couple of looks with this palette. I've also done like a recent autumn makeup tutorial with this palette, and it's just a stunning palette. Again, purples, but it also has like that greens, those grungy looks. Over here, I have this one. This one was the Nature 3502 palette. So it looks like this. Like the shimmer shades don't actually do justice for this palette. Sort of, they have better quality shimmer shades for sure. And there's like such a mixture of like lots of like browns, to be fair. I don't know why I bought it, actually, looking at it now. Ooh, but look at that red, like that's stunning. From Morphe as well, we have the Jeffree Star palette, which took long to take out. I've done a look with this palette and it's a really good quality palette. I love the greens over there that it has, and has like some nice pinks as well. But those greens are fascinating, and sort of, I never use a lot of greens, but if I had to, I would reach for this palette especially. I need to do something with that green stuff. And then finally we also have, oh, actually wait, this was the one that had a lot of controversy. The 350G, the 35G Bronze Gold palette from Morphe. But I still like this palette, and there was much more to do with it rather than the other palettes. So yeah. So then over here I have 3 of the Norvina palettes. So we have this one first, the ABH Norvina collection, and this is the volume 4. This is what it looks like. I absolutely love the packaging. I kept the boxes though. And this is what it looks like from the inside. It's a very spring looking palette, and I definitely need to do a makeup tutorial using this palette for sure. Okay, and then there was this one. I think this was volume 1. So this is the first one out of them all. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't used this as much as the other 2. So this is, I think, the one I least used. However, I had created a look over here with this one. And what it allows me to do, it actually allows me to experiment with colors, because usually I always use the same colors over and over. So this actually allows me to use different colors. Okay, and then we have this one. This was the volume 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is volume 3. I absolutely love the packaging of this one. It's so cute. This is what it looks like. I remember using that orange shade at the top, the A2, for my Halloween look. So yeah, again, this has really lovely pops of color. So then there was this. This was the Vault from Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. And there was a bit of controversy with this one, but to be fair, the palettes that I actually received were quite good. They came in 4, and I'll show you the 4. So there was this one. So this is Ring the Alarm, and this was a very sort of autumny shades, if you ask me. You have the plums, then you have like the burnt oranges, and then you have like the pinks as well. And then we have this one. So this one is the Bling Boss. So this is the purple one. It's like this plum shades, perfect like for a dinner day, I would say, like for that like evening dinner. Oh goodness, we have to go out again. Okay, this one I've least used. This was actually Dark Magic, and it has like lots of these green shades over here, like these like grungy shades. And then the final one is actually called Armed and Gorgeous, and again, this as well I haven't used as much as the other 2. I think the other 2, the first 2, were my favorites. So then I actually kept the original Carli Bybel palette, and then this was the second one. So I kept this because basically it is one of the first eyeshadow palettes I ever bought, and oh my goodness, this is reminding me of like the very first like moments where I actually started buying makeup and getting into makeup. And she also released the deluxe edition, which came into a box, which I still have. And this is what it looks like. It's a really pretty girly palette. So then we have these. So these are from Juvia's Place, and this is what this one looks like. So this one was the Masquerade Mini palette. And then I also have the Magic Mini by Juvia. I bought the minis, not the bigger ones, because I feel like you don't need to get the bigger ones. Like, eyeshadow takes a long time to finish, I'm finding out from my project pan. So yeah, and oh my goodness, these greens and like that blue, stunning. Okay, and then we have Tati Beauty. I really miss Tati. Like, I hope she's okay, and I hope she's taking care of herself. This was the volume 1 palette. Obviously we don't know what would have happened if she obviously would have done more palettes, but this is what the palette looks like. It's absolutely stunning. It creates such lovely eyeshadow looks. It's one of the best quality eyeshadow palettes by far that I own. I have 2 more Morphe palettes. So I have this one, which is the Nikki Tutorial palette, which I'm trying to open. So this was the Nikki Tutorial palette, Beauty Bay from Nikki Tutorial. I need to use this again. I can create maybe like a spring look over here. And then I have this one. I had done a look using this palette. This was a 24A Artist Pass palette from Morphe. And I kind of got that this palette for this shade. I mean, that shade is stunning and I've never seen anything like it, so I had to get it. And there's lots of glitters and there's lots of like fun things to do with this palette, and when we can go back to festivals, this is the palette I would definitely use. One more palette that's not in my drawer, my god, I'm already tired, is the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival Tree Love Tahiti palette by Stacey Marie, and this is obviously it. I absolutely love this. I used this in a video not long ago, created a purple look, and in fact the day I'm filming this video is the day that the video comes out on my YouTube channel, so I can't wait for you to see, and I hope you enjoyed it. Now let's begin by opening up these palettes that we have over here in the drawer. I feel like we can start. Okay, so I'm going to start from this side. So this side I have like all my Anastasia Beverly Hills. Over here I have the Prism palette, and this is what it looks like. The packaging of it is absolutely stunning, and this is what the palette looks like. It has some like really pretty shades, and it has that pop of yellow as well, and that blue as well. Then we have Subculture. Subculture had brought so much drama in the makeup world, but personally I had no complaints whatsoever. I just literally am a wee bit patient, and you know, if it doesn't come good, it doesn't come good. It's my fault probably, not the shadow, not the eyeshadow, because you know, I'm not a makeup artist, so. Okay, so then we have this one. This is the Jackie Aina palette. This was recently, it wasn't like long ago that it was released. The packaging of it is really pretty, and I don't really want to get rid of the boxes because yeah, they're part of the packaging basically. And this is the palette right here. It has some really pretty shades, and that Trust Issues glitter shade is beautiful. So then we have Norvina. This was the first palette that Norvina had released, no? And this was a very, very, very purple looking eyeshadow. I think this was the first purpley eyeshadow palette I actually bought. And I really like it because it has like some sweet, girly, like princessy vibes that I feel from this palette. This one was the Amrezy palette. I absolutely love this palette. Number one, the packaging is like Barbie, and when you go open it, like you wouldn't expect these shades. I think you would have expected more like Norvina. However, then like you have this one which is called Bear, which is really pretty. Anastasia, very pretty as well. That Leo shade as well is really, really pretty. And it's so strange because this is the only palette that they've done where they release so much in one palette. This is Soft Glam. I recommend this to everybody. This was released like weddings and stuff like that, and I absolutely love this palette. That rose pink, that bronze shade, that fairy shade. Such beautiful looking shadows. So then we have, this one was another Carli Bybel palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it looks like that. I need to like create an eyeshadow look. Definitely for like spring with this palette. It's just calling my name right now. Okay, and then we have Sultry. Oh my goodness, Luke had bought me this one, I remember, for my birthday. And oh, look at that packaging. That is just stunning. And again, it has like that perfect silver shade, like Cyborg is perfect. Even Steampunk is beautiful as well. Okay, and then we have this one. To be honest, I haven't used this as much. This is the Alyssa Edwards palette. And it's very, as you can see, I still have this probably. And I don't think I've ever used it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever used it. So I should like dip into this. But maybe like when summer comes, because it's reminding me like, it's like staying, like summer is staying with me with this palette. Okay, so this is, we all know it. This is the Modern Renaissance. Now, this palette is stunning. It is one of my most favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I don't reach it as much as I want to these days. However, I would definitely not depart with this. So then we have Riviera, and this is Riviera. Riviera is a very summery palette. Stunning. I absolutely, that yellow over there, it's just so creamy and soft, as you can see. Wow, look at those shades. That's stunning, honestly. Like, look at that. Sort of, if you need like a blue and a shimmery yellow, I would definitely recommend Riviera. So what's next? Okay, let's do these. Okay, so I have a MAC. That is the only palette I own from MAC, and that will only ever be the MAC eyeshadow palette I will own. I find it's like so expensive and And then this one was from Inglot. My friend actually, Christabel, gave it to me. It has like these very like everyday neutral, like that you can just create one simple eyeshadow look. Okay, so now I have actually some eyeshadow palettes from Kylie Cosmetics as well. So I have this one. This was the Naughty eyeshadow palette, and this was actually released for Christmas. And this is what the palette looks like. Okay, so then this is the Naked 3. This is a classic Urban Decay palette. Oh my goodness, I remember this was also one of the first palettes that I've ever owned. So over here I have the Too Faced. This is the Pumpkin Spice palette. The smell of it is stunning. And this is the palette. It's actually a really, really pretty palette. And I will definitely reach back into it probably in the autumn months. And then this is the Peach palette, and I love reaching for it in spring. Honestly, it's just such a springy looking palette. It's like gorgeous. Absolutely love that. And then we have Gingerbread. Gingerbread again, I had bought this, I think, not last year, I think the one before. And this is what it looks like. I feel like Gingerbread is much prettier than the Pumpkin Spice and the newer one, because I feel like you can do more with this one. Okay, and then we have some Urban Decay ones. I also have the rest later on. So this is the Naked Urban Decay Heat palette. I absolutely love this. This has some like lovely, lovely like red toned shades. Like this is like summer for me. So over here we have Kylie Cosmetics. This I actually bought recently, not long ago. This was from her Sailor collection, and this is what the palette looks like. It's a pretty lovely palette. And then we have some of the Huda Beauty palettes. This was Naughty. So this one was the latest palette from Huda Beauty. And this is the palette. I mean, it's actually really, really pretty. Okay, so the next one is the Nude palette. Again, this is a really pretty palette. I felt that the Revolution and Roxy collaboration was quite similar to this palette, in my opinion. Then, oh my goodness, over here we have this one. This one was the Mercury Retrograde palette. And this is what it looks like. It's actually really pretty. Like the outside packaging is stunning, but let alone the inside. The inside is gorgeous as well. It's so fun and pretty and bright and colorful. Like the color story is stunning. So then we have the last two. This is the remastered Rose Gold palette. So this was actually what it looks like. And this is it. I think this was the first Huda Beauty palette I had owned, because Luke had gotten it for me. Desert Dusk was the first one that I actually owned from Huda Beauty, and it was a birthday gift. And this is what it is. It is stunning. It's such a lovely purple palette, honestly. It's gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Let's do these because they're falling. Okay, so this was the Kylie, the Burgundy palette. Oh my god, this is like a classic of when Kylie Cosmetics actually started. So this was a classic of hers, and this is the palette. It's just like a burgundy palette. Very good for like, I think, summer as well. And now I have, these are two palettes from Zoeva. So we have the Cocoa Blends palette, which looks like this. So this is the Zoeva Cocoa Blends palette. It's very like coffee-like. This is the Opulence palette from Zoeva. This is what it looks like. I'm so sorry for my nail on my this one, because just, yeah. And this was the Opulence. And then I have this one. This one is the Urban Decay Born to Run. I think it's one of my favorite Urban Decay palettes by far. It's so pretty, and I think I prefer them than the Urban Decay, the Naked palettes. We have this one. This was the Nice palette from Kylie Cosmetics. So besides the Naughty palette, they also had done the Nice palette and this sort of a lighter palette. This I think would be perfect for spring as well. So then we have this one again. This one again probably is like really old. It was one of her like not peach, I think it was like the peach palette, I remember. This one is from Kylie Cosmetics, and it's a really very pretty summery looking eyeshadow palette, as you can see. So then we have the Urban Decay Naked 2. These are a classic. It's a classic of their collection. This is what it looks like. And then we have the first one. Actually, I love the packaging of this one. It's so pretty. And this was the first. palette. So I did a battery swap, and I was saying, so this is not my favorite Urban Decay honey, sort of the Naked Honey palette. It's not my favorite. However, it has some really good quality looking eyeshadow, especially like that honey shade. It's a really pretty shimmer shadow. They had also come out with this one, the Naked Reloaded palette, and to be honest, I don't know why I bought it, because it's not my I don't like it at all. I mean, it reminds me of Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's quite similar to that palette, but I think my two favorite from Urban Decay are these two. So I love this one, the Ultraviolet one. It's one of their recent releases. So this is it. I also love the packaging of this. It's so cute, and again, it's a very purple looking palette. Their Naked Cherry, and Naked Cherry is my favorite in their range. I also loved Urban Decay Naked 3 as well, and this is Naked Cherry. Again, it's very rosy, really reminds me of the Modern Renaissance from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So we have a Tartist Pro palette. I forgot I had this, my goodness. And this was what it looked like. I remember sort of, this was really like, Tarte was really big before, but I don't feel it is quite like important brand these days, in my opinion. We have this one. This is the Violet Voss, and this is what it looks like. I used to love this palette. I remember reaching for it so many times every single day. This one, this is the Natural Love palette, sorry, from Too Faced. They have a new one of this, but I didn't gravitate towards it because it was like some repetition shades, in my opinion. And then we have these are the two Naked Decay basics. So we have this one, which was number 1. So there's not much to do with this palette. I mean, I keep these because the most cheap palette, so I don't dream of getting rid of these. I mean, for now. And this was the number 2. I like their packaging though. They're really compact and sort of, they won't take so much space. Okay, so then I had these 3 from Too Faced, and I had gotten them in a holiday package basically. So we have this one, the Peppermint Mocha, which looks like that. This was the Latte, Eggnog Latte. I won't get rid of these because they remind me of when we had gone to Rome, because this is from when I went to Rome with Luke. And then this was the Gingerbread Cookie. So I won't ever get rid of them. Like, I mean, they're not like those fancy schmancy palettes, but they have a memory to them, so I would never get rid of them. Okay, this is the La Roche Pro, the Chocolate Box palette. It's actually a really beautiful palette. Absolutely love this. And then we have this one. This one was Jawbreaker from Jeffree Star, and this is the only Jeffree Star palette I own. It's something different. I don't have anything else like this in my collection. We have 3 more. Oh my god, I can't believe we've reached the end. So we have the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basic, and this was the palette. Oh my goodness, there's no shimmer shades whatsoever. Like, what the hell, Kezia? But I don't know, I just keep this because, again, it's Urban Decay. And then we have 2 Tarte palettes, which actually, I really loved both of these. Like, I preferred than the one I showed you before, but these actually are really pretty. So this one actually is stunning. This is the In Bloom palette. The packaging is really pretty, and this is what it looks like from the inside. It's like a very neutrally, everyday looking eyeshadow palette. And then I have this one, the Tartelette Toasted, which is the final palette which I'm going to be showing you today. And this one is a beautiful, like, it's like it has like those like burnt orange shadows in it. It's really pretty palette, to be fair. Alright, so now basically I have to put all these shadows, let me show you, all those shadows back in their place because, yeah, I made a mess. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Those are all my eyeshadow palettes. They are done. You have seen them all. What do you think? Were there any palettes that you love? Were there any palettes that you didn't like? Were there any palettes that you wished you would have gotten because they were limited edition? Let me know in the comments down below. And again, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!